What is good, everybody? Welcome to another film review. This week, we are going to be looking at everybody's favorite second round pick, Isaiah Foskey. Now, the Saints selected Isaiah Foskey with the 40th overall pick in the 2023 NFL draft, and he has since done nothing to contribute to the New Orleans Saints football team. Now, that may seem harsh, but it's just reality, right? Now, he hasn't gotten a ton of snaps in meaningful games. So, on one hand, he really hasn't had a huge opportunity to show it, but at the same time, he has had enough, he's had chances, and when he gets those chances, he just looks really, really bad. I think last year he took 64 snaps, right, on the defensive side of the ball, not including special teams or anything like that. He had, I believe, 64 defensive snaps. So I went through, I watched every single one of them, analyzed every single one of them, and I tried to put together a few here just to go over, just to kind of show, why it's likely that we don't see a ton of Isaiah Foskey on Sundays. Now, the Saints got a completely new staff, completely new coaching staff, defensive staff. So maybe they can tap into some potential that he maybe once had. Who knows, right? Because the guy, if you look at his college career, he had the numbers. I believe he had 11 sacks the year before he was drafted and 11 sacks the year he was drafted. And he had like 20 something total sacks throughout his collegiate career. So he was productive at Notre Dame, right? And he also had a really good RAS score, really good athletic score. And we know the Saints like those athletic, big defensive linemen. But when you actually turn on the tape back when he was in college, he looked super, super stiff, right? He can't turn a corner, and he just doesn't look athletic despite what his athletic score says. That's why you just can't take it. You have to put everything together and not just look, oh, he's athletic. He must be athletic on the football field too when the pads and the lights are on, because that's just not the case with Isaiah Foskey, right? Now, again, maybe this new coaching staff can tap into something, but as of right now, he's had 2 seasons in the NFL and has not produced a single stat and only has like 25 career tackles or something like that. So let's get into it. Let's go over Isaiah Foskey, some of his plays from the 2024 season. All right, so let's get into it. Isaiah Foskey over here, number 55, of course, and a little bit of spoiler alert. He is just super stiff, man. He plays so stiff, and he plays just with no explosiveness, no play strength, no pop in his hands, nothing. It's just it's easy to see. I know I sound so harsh, but it is easy to see why he just doesn't see the field most often, right? The majority of his snaps outside of a game against Kansas City, I think last year due to injury, the majority of his snaps came in garbage time, right? Just garbage time. This is in the week 1 blowout against the Panthers. Um, and you can see him here over there on the left side of the screen. He just has nothing. Right, like even when he's, stunning inside like he is on this play, and he has the momentum of really a head start, a full speed, steam ahead, he offers nothing, right? Like he's stunning inside, he's running, almost full speed, got a nice head start, he gets hands on, and I mean, check out the guard, like he doesn't even have to take one step back. Like there's just nothing. He's offering no kind of explosiveness, no kind of pop in his hands, no real good technique. I mean, so he's playing like standing almost straight up, right? Just super stiff. I mean, you could see he stands almost straight up, right? So like the point of making contact, there's like, I mean, look, he's standing straight. There's just nothing there that he's offering the offensive lineman to, threaten him in any way. Just super stiff and not really explosive. And there's a ton more clips here to kind of show the point that I'm trying to make. All right, next one here again. Lined up, head up over a tackle. He's going to end up going against the left guard. And once again, just really sloppy. Right, we're standing straight up, chest exposed. That gives the guard our chest. Guard makes contact, and then it's lights out. I mean, just there's no type of push in the pocket or anything from Foskey. There's nothing, right? And normally when you see a pass rush like this from the defensive line, you're going to see the lineman at least getting pushed back, a yard, a couple inches at least, right? They're going to be pushed back a little bit until they find their ground, right? Until they hold their anchor. But I mean, if you look over here at Foskey, there's just nothing. Look, his hands are on the outside. His chin is in the guy's, neck. He's just, if anything, the guard is actually taking steps forward. Like he's not getting penetrated at all, right? Like look at the guard's feet. All right, boom, he makes contact, and then he doesn't get pushed back at all. He actually is able to take him up the field a little bit. I mean, if you compare that to, say, 97 here, he runs the center back. He's at least, trying. Look over here at, was 91, right? He at least gives a fight, Everybody else is fighting. And then we have Foskey over here who's just, no kind of pop, no kind of explosiveness, super stiff, standing straight up, can't work off a block, and that's what you get. All right, I try to keep it fair and, put the positive plays in, but I'm not joking when I tell you that this was his best play in all the 64 defensive snaps that he got. And it's him holding his run fit and making a tackle on a ball carrier. So, you got this gap here, him, you got here, and here, right? Run fit wise, right? Foskey again lined up over the tackle, does a nice job of attacking this guard. Boom, attack. He extends with that inside hand to fill his gap, right? He's watching the ball carrier, stays extended. I like that. And then he's able to make a tackle on him, right? So this here was, by far really his best play on the defensive side of the ball. And I'm sorry, but that's just not good. That's just not good enough. All right, you don't draft a guy 40th overall to, hold his run fit once every, however many snaps. So this, in my opinion, was his best play all season, which is pretty sad. All right, next one here, right side of your screen, going against Cowboys. And I believe this is Tyler Guyton, if I'm not mistaken. He was a rookie last year who struggled mightily for the Cowboys. And he dominates Foskey on this rep. So again, it's just the same stuff I've mentioned before, just super stiff with it, lack of explosiveness. I mean, watch his feet. Slows down his feet at the point of contact, kind of just pitter-patters him, and he gets just locked up, right? It's just, again, let's turn that back a little bit. I mean, he's starting from a standing position right here, which, in theory, give him a little bit more momentum to push off, maybe, right? Yeah. And again, like, we get hands inside. We actually make first contact, which is huge for a defensive lineman. We got our hands inside, first contact, but we just don't have the play strength and we don't have the explosiveness to do anything with it, right? And then once that offensive lineman gets hands on us, it's lights out. It's just nothing we can do. I mean, it's, and it's not Foskey's fault for where he was drafted and how high he was drafted. So I really hate to be so harsh, but just got to be honest. All right, so when talking about his stiffness, right, and really his inability to bend, which was all over his college tape, he's stiff. He couldn't turn a corner. This is a really good example because it doesn't get any more perfectly set up than this rep right here to turn a corner and to show off some bend. So this is going against the Browns. He's over here in this wide 9 technique. He's lined up all the way out here, right? He has all this space between him and the tackle, right? And it's set up perfectly. You already have a tackle over here who's not the most athletic guy in the world, super big, not the fastest feet. And at this point, you're golden, man. Like, you have the tackle already has his shoulders turned towards you, right? Super short corner for you to turn, right? Essentially get a straight line path to the quarterback. And he does everything well, except you can see the lack of explosion, right? So here it is from the top. So, decent get off of the ball, right? I like the swipe right there of the hands. He misses because the offensive line retracts his hands. But I mean, at this point, man, that's as easy as it's ever going to get your path to the quarterback. Now the quarterback gets rid of it, so he probably wouldn't have made it there anyway, but you can see the lack of bend here. I mean, right there. That's as far as we can bend around the edge for Isaiah Foskey. And that's just, again, at the NFL level, not good enough. It allows your shoulder to be right there, still in place for that tackle to get that just enough of a piece of you to run you around the corner, right? Now, if he had just a little bit more bend, right at this point, he could dip that shoulder a little further towards the ground, right? And come right around that corner and get closer to that quarterback. Or if that quarterback didn't get rid of it so quick, maybe possibly a sack, right? Just if he had a little bit more bend here, he could escape this tackle and not let him get hands back on him, right? But, I mean, again, it's just the lack of the stiffness, right? It shows up time and time again. All right, next one here. This is where things start to get really grim. Okay, this is against the New York Giants. Giants are going to be running duo, so we're just going to get the tackle locked here. We're going to get double teams across the board. And that leaves the tight end. Yes, I said tight end, who is going to be blocking Isaiah Foskey one-on-one. Tight end is essentially down blocking Isaiah Foskey, and you can see he's lined up directly over him. And Isaiah Foskey gets blown about 3-4 yards off the ball by a tight end. Now, this can't happen, okay? I mean, we're talking pure one-on-one tight end on Isaiah Foskey. Just gets absolutely drove off of the ball. And the Saints are lucky that Pete Werner fills this hole right here, or, 26 would have been, boom, off to the races here, right? And the running back bounces it inside, and ironically enough, Foskey ends up making the tackle. But, I mean, you just cannot have your defensive end getting blown off the ball that far by a tight end, man. So let's see, the ball's, let's just call it right here on the 50. Tight end takes him 1, 2. I mean, that's what, 3-4 yards down the field off of a one-on-one block. I mean, it just can't happen. That's inexcusable. It's not like you're getting, this is a tackle blocking you. It's a tight end. And just, he makes the tackle, but still, like, if Werner isn't here to fill this hole, you're off to the races. The running back is. That's really bad. All right, last one I'll show here, because again, I don't want to harp on the guy too much, but I think it's important that we understand why our second round pick from a couple of years ago doesn't even really see the field. So this is just going to be on a stunt here. Isaiah Foskey on the right side here. And again, just the lack of explosiveness shows up, man. So we're going to get a TE stunt. Essentially, we're going to have him come outside, him stunt inside, right? And you're trying to sort up draw up to where, this guy gets occupied and then one of these guys comes free. So what I want to pay attention to is here, watch Foskey on the stunt. So at this point right now, when you see your guy coming outside, you have to stick that foot in the ground and you have to explode inside, right? But that's not what we get here. We get pitter patter with our feet. Pitter patter, pitter patter, pitter patter. It's like we're playing patty cake with our feet, and we make contact with offensive linemen, and it just does nothing, right? So this should be like 1 explosive step, 2, 3 contact, right? You should explode off this foot and maybe take 3 steps before you make contact with that offensive lineman. But look how many steps it takes Foskey here. I mean, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, almost 7 steps just to make contact. I mean, this is just, it goes to show you he's so stiff, has no explosiveness, and he's just not NFL caliber skill, at least in terms of playing defense, special teams, whatever, right? But it's just not there. And unfortunately, it looks at this point like it was a wasted second round pick, but what can you do? Appreciate you guys watching. Peace.